Ventura County Red Cross Shelters. This presentation is a training tool for Red Cross shelter workers. It explores a few of the unique shelter situations that may be seen in a shelter environment. It was created by Dr. Don Steensma. Although some of the policies covered may be controversial, they are all directly sourced from current Red Cross documents. Animals. A service animal is any dog or miniature horse that is individually trained to do work or perform tasks for the benefit of an individual with a disability, including a physical, sensory, psychiatric, intellectual, or other mental disability. Service animals perform many disability-related functions, including, but not limited to, guiding individuals who are blind or have low vision, alerting individuals who are deaf or hard of hearing to sounds, providing protection or rescue assistance, pulling a wheelchair, fetching items, alerting persons to impending seizures, or providing emotional support to persons with disabilities who have a disability-related need for such support. California requires that any public location must allow service animals. Miniature horse service animals will be accommodated in a shelter as long as the facility can accommodate the miniature horse's type, size, and weight. In California, there are only two questions that you are allowed regarding a service animal. 1. Is the animal a service animal? 2. What skill does the animal provide for you? Assistance or emotional support animals are in a different legal classification. They are a dog or other animal that is not trained to perform specific acts directly related to an individual's disability. Instead, the animal's owner derives a sense of well-being, safety, or calm from the animal's companionship and presence. There is no special training or certification required for an assistance animal. A certified therapy dog is a dog that accompanies its owner and is trained to provide affection and comfort to people in hospitals, retirement homes, nursing homes, schools, hospices, and disaster areas. Certified therapy dogs differ from service animals and assistance animals in that they do not work or perform tasks for the benefit of an individual with a disability or emotional support needs. Local Red Cross chapters are permitted and encouraged to partner with local therapy dog organizations to provide support to disaster survivors and disaster responders. On July 21, 2022, Red Cross established a new policy regarding shelter animals. When displaced by disaster, community members with pets should feel welcome, so Red Cross shelters will provide a safe refuge for them and their household pets. The Red Cross co-locates household pets at its shelters whenever feasible. Household pets will not be allowed in the dormitory, food reparation/serving/eating areas, disaster health service areas, designated child recreation areas, or other areas of the shelter where their presence would present health hazards or disrupt service delivery. Service animals are working animals and are not household pets. Service animals are allowed in all parts of the shelter. When co-located pet sheltering is not possible because of space limitations, availability of a capable partner agency, or facility rules, disaster relief operations must work in partnership with local emergency management and the community to determine a reasonable solution. The Red Cross will coordinate with local government to inform clients where services are available to support livestock, large animals, animals that are normally housed at zoos or wildlife sanctuaries, and any threatening pets. American Red Cross Transgender Policy as of June 24, 2022. Red Cross workers do not determine or prescribe which bathroom and shower facilities a person should be using, and we do not monitor these facilities. However, we should always try to provide individuals who are transgender access to restrooms and shower facilities that are consistent with their self-identified gender or otherwise feel safest for them. Transgender restroom and shower access. When surveying or inspecting any facility being used by the American Red Cross, determine if at least one single person, gender-neutral, restroom, and shower exists. If so, designate these locations as gender-neutral areas. If a client, staff member, or volunteer has objections to sharing facilities with a person who is transgender, you should explain that the Red Cross mission and official policy of the organization is to provide humanitarian services to everyone, and we don't discriminate. Weapons. In most areas in California, the open carrying of a gun is not legal. Concealed carry of a gun is only legal with a concealed carry permit. In California, it is legal to carry any size folding knife concealed or any size non-folding that is not concealed. It is illegal to conceal a non-folding knife. In California, it is legal to carry pepper spray and tear gas weapons. In California, no weapons allowed signs are not enforceable, but if the person is detected carrying a weapon and asked to leave for that reason, they must leave or be subject to trespass laws. Food donations. The feeding team should not accept food donated by individuals as they may not meet safe food handling standards. Donations of prepared meals can only be from commercial vendors or recognized partner agencies that meet local, state, and federal sanitation codes. The feeding lead can partner with local community groups to provide meals as long as they meet local and state guidelines and health department regulations. Donated foods must be within and stay within the following temperature guidelines. Hot foods must stay hotter than 140 degrees, and cold foods must stay colder than 41 degrees, and prepared food held within this temperature range longer than 4 hours must be discarded. And used prepared food should be donated to local organizations, such as homeless shelters or food banks, provided that the safety and integrity of meals can be maintained within the 41 degree to 140 degree temperature range for up to 4 hours. Unaccompanied minors, separated children, and missing children. Reunifying unaccompanied minors and separated children with their parents or legal guardians in the aftermath of a disaster is a priority. Accomplishing this goal requires the efficient, coordinated use of resources and efforts from law enforcement and community partners. Although care of unaccompanied minors and separated children is usually the responsibility of government agencies and other child welfare agencies, the high visibility of the Red Cross during times of disaster may sometimes result in these children arriving at Red Cross service delivery sites. Additionally, missing children might be reported at a Red Cross service delivery site or call center. While law enforcement and the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, NCMEC, are responsible for searching for a missing child, the Red Cross should provide consistent references to seekers to help expedite their search. Manage community members arriving to help. Ensure that community members and shelter clients who want to help are directed, received, and resourced to the appropriate area. Greet community members warmly with a smile. Focus on the individual, offering your complete attention. Community members who are not clients in the shelter and want to help are considered event-based volunteers and are treated, processed, and supported in the same manner as all other responders on an operation. Clients who are willing to help with sheltering tasks are a great resource. Recruiting clients as helpers allows them to contribute to their own recovery and creates a positive and cooperative environment at the shelter. Some individuals are required to register with government agencies. Individuals required to register with government agencies, like all individuals affected by the disaster, must be provided shelter during disasters. This may include individuals on bail, bond, probation, or sex offenders. A shelter identifies these clients during registration when asked if someone in the household is required by law to register with any state or local government agency. In most jurisdictions, an individual answering yes to emergency shelter registration must report changing or leaving their home. Answering no will leave them in violation. Reception/registration workers are trained to discreetly refer anyone answering yes when asked this question to the shelter manager, and the shelter manager should meet in a private location with this client. If the client indicates registration is required because of bail, bond, or probation conditions, the shelter manager should ensure the client understands shelter rules, advise them to contact their probation officer or point of contact as soon as possible, and returns them to the registration desk to continue registering. Clients in this category should be treated as any other resident in the shelter, but their behavior may be watched more carefully. If the client indicates they are a sex offender, the client must be advised that Red Cross policy requires the notification of local law enforcement to determine whether the client can remain in the shelter. If the client chooses to remain, ask them to confine their activities to a specific area at the shelter that is separate from general shelter population and under the observation of a Red Cross worker until law enforcement arrives at the shelter. If the law permits the registered sex offender to remain in the shelter manager notifies shelter security. The registered client should stay in an area where they can be monitored. The homeless. In the aftermath of many disasters, local services and programs for homeless people are closed or unavailable, leading pre-disaster homeless individuals to seek services from Red Cross shelters. Pre-disaster homeless are welcome in shelters and must be treated respectfully by clients and other staff. Treat all clients like individuals and equally entitled to our services. Be sensitive and patient in conveying rules and requests for compliance, as some homeless clients may relate differently to authority, reprimands, or direct commands. Pre-disaster homeless individuals may have medical and mental health needs that differ from other shelter residents. Human trafficking. Human trafficking in the aftermath of a disaster is highly prevalent, as the emotional and financial implications of a disaster leave individuals susceptible to exploitation. Red Cross clients may be seen as vulnerable and could be trafficked under false pretenses of security and monetary value. Individuals may exploit the disaster environment to engage in criminal activities such as selling of children for illegal adoption, forced labor, or sexual exploitation. Children who are separated from their families are particularly vulnerable to abduction by traffickers, but a client of any age or gender may be a target. The American Red Cross does not solicit donations of goods. However, when disasters strike, the local community often reacts generously and wishes to donate items to help those affected by the disaster. Large amounts of items may be dropped off at Red Cross shelters by well-intentioned individuals. Without proper and swift management, these types of donations can accumulate and cause a burden on disaster relief operations. Red Cross planning includes identifying other agencies in the area that may accept donations that the Red Cross cannot accept. Acceptable donations include non-perishable food that is unopened, undamaged, and unexpired. New and used and unexpired toiletries. New, sealed-in packaged diapers. Clean, unbroken toys that can be sanitized, such as with a wipe or spray. New, unexpired, unopened pet food and supplies. Clean, untorn, unstained, wearable clothing that is seasonally appropriate. Clean plush stuffed toys. Clean towels and clean bedding. Unacceptable donations include home-prepared foods or restaurant-prepared foods not delivered by a restaurant employee. Expired, damaged, or open non-perishable foods. All perishable foods. Soiled, torn, stained, or odorous clothing. Housewares, furniture, or any large items. Open, used, or expired toiletries. If items are unacceptable, Red Cross staff politely communicates the reasons for not accepting the donation and may recommend other places that may accept the donation. Special needs. Identify and prioritize clients' immediate needs, make observations and ask questions to assist clients in identifying their needs, such as food, information, communication, a place to sleep, and reunification with family members. If resources to meet a client's immediate needs are not available at the shelter, refer to your supervisor. Monetary donations. Greet the donor warmly with a smile. Focus on the donor, offering your complete attention. Do not accept a monetary donation. Direct donation to appropriate destination by encouraging donors to mail or deliver financial donations to the regional office. Donate online at www.redcross.org or donate through the Red Cross Emergency app. Thank the donor and express appreciation for their donation. The privacy of all shelter clients is very important. Therefore, we do not allow photos to be taken of shelter clients without their written permission, including with cell phones or personal cameras. If you observe a client taking photographs, inform your shelter manager. Since its beginning, Red Cross workers have responded to 3 million disasters in the U.S., saving thousands of lives. Thank you for being a Red Cross volunteer.